Yep, I'm going to try this again. I have a new backdrop I just made in GIMP because I can't afford Photoshop, so graphic image manipulation program or something like that. And try to do stuff with the background and the text and arrange things. And the black box above my head is a space where I would put a YouTube chat if I had a YouTube chat running, which I don't. Um, if I, was spending more time here than at YouTube, I'd probably mess around and try to figure out how to put the Dlive chat in the box up there, but I haven't got around to that yet. Anyway, I think I'll use this background for a while on my live streams on YouTube and see what happens. But it seemed like a nice enough background, but I got to talk about something, so I put up this scripture again from 1 Corinthians 5 about contacts with the world. And doesn't matter really what's going on there. It's a principle where Paul says, when I wrote to you before, I told you not to mingle with the promiscuous, but I didn't mean those of the world, the greedy, extortioners, idolaters. In that case, you'd have to completely leave the world. But what I'm saying is that you must not mingle with anyone who's called a sister or brother, that is, any of these things. Don't even eat with people like that. That is to say, don't hang out with them. After all, what business is it of mine to judge outsiders? Are you not to judge those on the inside? God will judge the outsiders, so expel the evil one from among you. So this is talking about Christian communities. And there's a time where you have to disfellowship and all that. And I've been over this many times. But the problem is that in general, when we're not necessarily talking about Christian communities, just any communities, there's this recurring problem. I don't know how I manage this, but I get guilt by association. Wherever I am, I am blamed for what the other people do, either because of something I said or something I didn't say or didn't do or whatever it was. There's this one situation recently where there was a Skype chat and someone was removed from it. Someone I just know over the years, mostly as an acquaintance. We never had private conversations. Just really, people we talk to fairly frequently and in a group, but not as a, doing things together, a real friendship and more of an acquaintance. And that person was removed from a chat group. And suddenly I was the bad guy. I don't control the chat group. I didn't know the day and time of their removal, that I should have contacted them because they were a close friend, which they weren't. And somehow it was my responsibility to chase after this person when I didn't know anything happened. And I politely asked what happened and was told I was complaining. So after that happens so many times, you start to wonder if it's worth being in groups, chat groups, because what can you do? I mean, people will just do that. They'll hold you responsible for being in the area when something else goes down with somebody else they don't like, and they think that you're supposed to control the other person, or because you are in the group that somehow you knew what was going on and conspired to get rid of them. It's like, where does this come from? I have no idea. But the problem is, being the analytical sort, what to do about it, how to prevent that sort of thing in the future, because you have to go out in the world. That's why I got that scripture up. And people generally like to do things together, even if they're not good friends. You have acquaintances and coworkers and things like that, and you don't want to just disappear. So what do you do? How do you prevent that sort of thing from happening? And I don't have any ideas. It would be easy to disappear and not be in the groups, but sooner or later somebody is going to get miffed at somebody else, and because you're in the group, you'll get blamed for it. I don't know what to do about that. I do try to do a lot of little talks about Christians upping their game behavior-wise, but you're not always dealing with Christians, and you have nothing to really say about it other than you can't hang around with anybody who might possibly get somebody else mad at them, and then you get in trouble for it. There's just no solution for that. But anyway, don't know what to do about that. But I just felt like I needed to redo my layout and keep in practice on Dlive, so I probably, as I've been doing sometimes, upload it to YouTube just because nobody comes to Dlive, hardly. So that's what I'm going to do. If you were here, thanks for listening. I see a chat, but I don't know if it's the current one. But that's all I know. So, see you later.